What's going on, you guys? It's Randy with Full Throttle Obsessions. Today we're going to be installing the MIP rear drive shafts on my TRAXXAS UDR. Look at that thing, we got it pretty nice and cleaned up. Now anyone that's seen any of my videos of running the UDR, I pretty much break the rear drive shaft pretty much every time I take it out. So we're hoping to solve that problem today with this MIP drive shaft. Now just filling it in the package, it feels pretty heavy duty. I'm quite impressed with it. They are quite pricey. This thing came in at right around like $50 or something like that, which is honestly pretty high for a rear drive shaft. You could get their competitors for around $30 or so, but honestly, I ran MIP drive shafts in the past on my Summit, and I was really impressed with them, so that's why I decided to spend the extra money. Now, if you guys are curious about this drive shaft and the specs and the price, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below. But alright, without further ado, let's go ahead and get to it. Alright, we're going to go ahead and get it flipped on its side. Alright, the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is remove the battery cover here. Then we're going to go ahead and remove this bottom skid plate right here, which is attached by quite a few little Allen screws right here. So we're going to go ahead and get those taken out. I can already tell the truck's extremely dirty under this. So once I got this cover off, we might take it out and spray it off, get it cleaned up a little better. Or I might just do it before I put it back on. Let's see. That one. Whoop, skipped one right there. Now this is definitely not the first time I've done this. I replaced about 3 or 4 of the factory rear drive shafts. I haven't broke the front one yet, knock on wood, but I'm actually surprised about that. That one. Eventually I'm going to give me some better tools. I'd like to get some little drivers for this, because these Allen wrenches are a little hard on the fingers after a while. Whoa! Right there. And I think 2 more after this one. You can actually see where it broke at the top this time. The other couple times I broke it right here at the bottom, ended up shearing the pins off it. Right, now this should come off here. Maybe. There we go. Oh yeah, look at that. That is filthy. So we'll definitely, before I put that cover back on, I'm definitely going to spray all that out, trying to get a little cleaned up. As you guys can see, I ended up replacing the servo. I went with one of these 25 kg all metal gear servos. They're really cheap, and I run them in quite a few of my trucks and haven't had any issues with them. The factory UDR one went out in about a month, so I went ahead and put one of these. If you guys are curious about these servos, I'll go ahead and put a link down in the description below. Go ahead and get an Allen, take off the rear drive shaft. Yeah, you can tell that sucker's toast, man. We ended up shearing the pin on or something. Yep, we sheared the pin on the inside right there on the top. Now let's go ahead and take off the the rear drive shaft here. There we go. Try to show you guys, this is the same thing that's happened on every rear drive shaft on me. I end up shearing the pin on the inside. I don't understand how they're shearing so easy, but it happens to me almost every time I take the truck out. I'm not sure how well you guys can see that. But yeah, these factory rear drive shafts are trash. Luckily they replaced a few of them on warranty for me, but I know that they're about 20 bucks to replace a factory one. Not even worth it, you guys. I just toss it and get a better upgraded drive shaft. So we're going to try these MIPs out. After, of course, we take off the front part of it here. There we go. Now we'll go ahead and open up the MIP Driveshaft Kit, see what it all comes with here, and then do a little assembly on it. Let's see here. So you can see it comes with the shaft itself, and it's actually pretty heavy. It's probably about twice the weight as a factory one. Now in most cases extra rotational weight is not really a good thing, but we're adding strength here, so this is much needed in this case. So we got the shaft there. Well, next up, I gotta make this hole a little bigger, open a little wider. Looks like it does come with some instructions that we will be needing. We'll have to look at those. Also comes with a thing of Loctite and a little bit of grease. And it comes with, of course, 2 yokes that we got to assemble onto the drive shaft. And all the hardware, and it looks like they even give you some extra pieces just in case anything happens, which is really nice. It's always good to have spare parts, especially considering the price of this drive shaft. And then they gave 2 MIP stickers. Not sure where we're going to mount those, but we'll probably stick them on the truck. Alright, I went ahead and assembled one of the drive shaft ends off camera just to get the hang of things and to read the instructions and see how MIP wanted it assembled, where they wanted the grease. And what is nice that I want to point out is they show you, they tell you where to add the grease, and of course you want to put a little Loctite, which it comes with the Loctite and the grease. It shows you Loctite on the set screws, and then grease, of course, on everything else where the metal's going to rub on metal. And we'll go ahead and show you here. It's got grease and Loctite. You got to make sure that you don't get those mixed up because they're both in the tube. And of course, that lighter blue stuff's our grease, and the darker stuff's our Loctite. Thread lock gel is actually what they're calling it. So let's go ahead and install this other side. Now the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take this little fitting and put a little grease. A little grease on my screwdriver there. Just kind of going all nice and good. Let's see. It's a little easier to spread it with my finger there. Then Then we're going to go ahead and slide it in the shaft there, making sure that that end's exposed so we can slide that rod through. Now what I was doing too, I put a little grease on the outside right here, since that's where that cup's gonna pivot. I'm going to put a little grease on that. Of course, you don't want to put too much, because the more excess grease that you have on this, the dirt's just going to kind of gunk up on it. So we just want to put a kind of a modest amount, just so it's covered. And we'll also put on this pin here. I don't know how well you guys can see that. The parts are pretty small, so go ahead and just kind of grease that up. Ready to go on now. Now we'll go ahead and kind of get this cup set in place here. Now the tricky part is this little pin. Well, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it has a little indentation. So we're going to want to line the indentation up with where the set screw is going to be, so the set screw sits in that indentation. And I'm probably going to have to do this off camera because it's going to be a little tricky. We're going to put a little more grease on that, but I'll see if I could show you guys. The little indentation is going where that set screw is going to be. That way it locks that pin in place. Let me go ahead and put a little more grease on that. Now we're going to take the set screw. We got a little of the Loctite gel in there. We're going to put it in there and lock that pin in place. Now, just to let you guys know, in the instructions it says not to use an Allen wrench like this. They want a Allen wrench with a handle, with a driver. I don't currently have those, so we're using this type of Allen wrench. It doesn't really make a difference in my opinion. But, let's see. Now you can see we got it's rotating on there real nice. We'll go ahead and just wipe down the residual grease on there. Try to minimize the amount of dirt that's going to get attracted to the grease on there. Well, and you can see we got one assembled drive shaft. Now we're going to install it on the UDR. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and install the drive shaft. We'll do it on the transmission side first. Slide it on there. There we go. Go ahead and take the set screw. We put some of that blue lock gel on it. Alright, now we'll turn it because we've got two to put in place. Put a little lock gel on that as well. Go, get those fairly snug. Alright, and then of course we're going to wipe down the access thread locker on there. Try not to leave too much stuff for dirt to attract. And two, that way you don't sling all over and really cause a mess. Alright, now let's go ahead and do the rear. Alright, same thing with the thread locker. Alright, we'll get the other one started before I crank that down. The last set screw here, put a little Loctite. Alright, all locked down. Now we'll go ahead and wipe off that residual. Kind of clean things up there. Alright you guys, that was just my quick little video of installing the MIP steel driveshaft kit. Now if anybody else has had problems with the rear driveshaft as I have, hopefully that helps you out a bit. And just by the sheer weight and the feel of the driveshaft, I'm pretty sure we solved that weak link on the UDR. Now I definitely can't wait to get it out and actually test it out. I didn't put on the bottom skid plate because we're going to take it and clean all that out since it was quite dirty. Man, look at that thing. That thing looks mean. But we'll definitely be getting this thing out over the weekend and test that rear driveshaft. I hope you guys liked the video, and as always, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.